So a few of you know me. My name's Jessie. I work at Northlands. I'm their local food associate. So I work in the ag department, and I work specifically on local food and urban ag projects here. So urban beekeeping, urban agriculture, local food procurement, all of those things sort of fall within my responsibility. We've got a panel today that we're going to talk about what makes local local. And I've been talking about local food and local business for probably, 15, 17 years. And I'm still amazed that everyone has their own definition of what is local and what isn't local. So we're going to dig into that a little bit, because what we look at really determines how local food or local businesses impact communities. So we're going to start with a little bit of what's local. So these are products, just different products and different companies and different items that I've heard are local and are not local. So how many people would say that blue kettle salad dressing is local?
You're saying local and just a generic.
Is it local food? Is it local food? Yeah, is it local food? Is Transcend coffee local food? Is Alberta beef local?
Yeah.
Yeah? What about Riverbend garden vegetables?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. What about McCain French fries?
Maybe.
Maybe not. What about Chimo pierogies? Got a couple of yeses. Okay, so what we've just done is we've sort of demonstrated that we all have very different ideas of what local is. And when you ask or when you make a determination if something is local or not, it's something that you just sort of figure out in your head, and you don't really know why things are local and why they are or why they're not. So parquet margarine is actually made here in Edmonton. Yeah, and it's made with canola oil from Alberta. But it's made by Bunge, which is a large company, and they're a co-packer for Conagra, who owns the Parquet brand. So you would never consider Parquet margarine a local product, but I've been in that factory, and they are making Parquet margarine. So there's a bunch of different things that we typically look at local, and one of them is, where is local? What is local for you? Is it Edmonton? Is it region? Is it Alberta? Is it Western Canada? Exactly, so where is local? I typically consider Alberta local, but lots of people think 100 miles or 100 kilometers or 50 kilometers. So it's really important that when you're determining if something is local or not, you need to think about, so where is that for me? What's local for me? And I mean, if I'm talking about fruit, I might even include BC in my idea of what local fruit is. And then once you sort of figure out where local is, there's sort of three different things that factor into how local a product is. One is, where did the ingredients for that product come from? So it's pretty easy to say, well, if these tomatoes grew in Alberta or grew in Edmonton, those tomatoes are local. But if it's a salsa and those tomatoes in that salsa are not from Alberta, is that salsa still local?
But
So
is it made here?
yeah. So ingredient origin is one that I typically look at. And if you're concerned about agriculture, ingredient origin is really important. Where is it made? So if it's a product that's processed, where was it processed and made? And then who owns the business, or where does that business ownership reside? Now those three things are really important. They each deliver a different benefit. So with local ingredients, it allows us to have transparency around our supply chain. So you can go to Doef's greenhouse and see how they grow their tomatoes and their cucumbers. There is no question about what they do, because you can actually see it in their operation. It's close enough that it's totally transparent. You don't have that same transparency for tomatoes grown in California, unless you visit California, or Mexico. It also generates farm income. So when we're buying ingredients from our farmers, that money is staying with those farmers. And if something is grown in the region or in the province, obviously it reduces the shipping distance that those ingredients have to come. So those are really the three benefits we get from local ingredients. And then we talk about local processing, and I always disconnect local processing from local business. Because processing in Alberta is food processing is a huge industry. We have Old Dutch potato chips, Lay's potato chips, McCain French fries, Cavendish fries are establishing a plant here. And those potato value add create a lot of jobs in rural Alberta. They create a market demand for agriculture products. It ensures that there's capital investment in our food infrastructure and our food industry. And when you have lots of food companies, it also helps create a culture of safety. So when there's lots of food businesses, everybody learns from each other, government supports food safety, and it just helps increase the overall culture of food safety in a province. We often, how many people know we have local sugar? So we actually have a sugar processing facility down in Tabor, and we have about 200 Alberta farmers that grow sugar beets for that plant. Now most of us, when we go into a grocery store and see Rogers sugar, we would never consider that a local product. But chances are, if you can find one identified as beet sugar, it probably came out of the fields of Alberta. So that whole processing piece is really important when you're looking at job creation, rural Alberta, and some other attributes. And then we're going to talk about local ownership. So I'm going to pick on Paul for a minute. Paul and things like tea, coffee, chocolate, Jacek chocolate, frequently when I hold those businesses up as local foods, I get a ton of pushback. And it's like, we don't grow coffee here. We don't grow chocolate here. We don't grow those things here. Having a local business that does a little bit of value add in your community is really, really important for your local economy. So local ownership delivers huge economic value and huge civic value for communities. So those are some of the attributes that local ownership bring to your community. Economic diversity, chocolates, coffee, sugar, salad dressing. Those are not necessarily, we don't grow that stuff here, so it's not a straight value add. It's truly processing and value creation. Small businesses and smaller businesses deliver way more wealth creation in a community. And it's because small businesses are really inefficient and they leave a lot of money spread around a community. So big business, typically more efficient. They'll have their own internal legal, accounting, bookkeeping, all of those things. Small businesses have to source all those services in a community. So we often think about small businesses and the staff they employ. That's actually a really small part of their economic impact in a community. It's also the accountants that they hire, the lawyers they hire, the web designers they hire, the packaging they buy, and all those other things. Local ownership also ensures a lot of product diversity. So when I was in the canola oil plant, they actually bottle exactly the same product in about 100 different labels and ship it all over the world. So there is no product diversity there. There's label diversity, but there's no product diversity. Local businesses will develop new products, interesting products, and unique products because they're trying to meet the needs of the local community. And that really allows for a competitive and diverse food system to emerge. So it also creates competition, which is healthy, and it's real competition. There's lots of local businesses fighting for market share rather than one or two large businesses fighting for market share. So instead of asking if it's local or not, I would really recommend that people say, how local is it? And if it's not local enough, it's almost kind of localer than most, and just try and work your way down till you can get it as local as you can. I don't think it's a yes or no question. It's more of, what do I want my purchases to do in my community, and what do I need to look for to make that happen?